Despite locust infestation in tens of counties, the year 2020 started on a high for Kenya. The National Treasury was bullish about economic growth this year, projecting at least a 6% expansion. This was despite desert locusts that were munching vegetation, including food crops and pasture, which threatened the agriculture sector. The desert locusts that were contained in mid-2020 would surprisingly re-emerge towards the end of the year. Officials said security situations in central Somalia that is believed to be under insurgents, as well as fighting in Tigray, Ethiopia, had compromised surveillance of the desert locusts. Swarms flew into coastal counties from Somalia early December, and officials said that the desert locusts would spread to central Kenya, while swarms that had been breeding in Ethiopia were likely to find their way to northern Kenya. The impact of the desert locusts would be dwarfed by COVID-19. Weeks before Kenya confirmed the first case of coronavirus, the economy was already feeling the impact of the virus. Import of some key industrial raw materials and some items had already started drying up as countries closed their borders and locked down certain regions in efforts to contain the spread of the virus or reduce imported infections. China was the first country to announce a lockdown, shutting Wuhan, which is home to about 11 million people and hosts 9 car factories, Siemens, Chinese smartphone maker Xiaomi, as well as travel, hotel and restaurant industries. Kenya confirmed the first case of coronavirus on 13th of March. 3 days later, the central bank announced the removal of charges on mobile money transfer for amounts of up to 1,000 shillings and waiver of charges on bank to mobile phone transactions from 16th of March in efforts to encourage Kenyans to embrace cashless transactions in efforts to contain the spread of coronavirus.
In order to avoid the risk of transmission through physical handling of money, we encourage the use of cashless transactions, such as mobile money, M-Pesa and otherwise.
Transfer of cash of up to 1,000 shillings would remain zero-rated until the end of 2020. This affected transactions worth 1.76 trillion shillings by end of September. This haunted Safaricom, that reported the first reduction in profits since 2011, with the telco blaming scrapping of charges on transfer that ate into the firm's M-Pesa earnings when it reported its first half results. In addition, the government in April introduced favorable tax measures to help cushion Kenyans against the adverse effects of coronavirus. Among the measures were a reduction of VAT from 16% to 14%, no income tax for those earning up to 24,000 shillings monthly, and suspension of the highest tax band of 30%. For businesses, turnover tax for small businesses was also reduced from 3% to 1%, while corporate tax was slashed from 30% to 25%.
That the National Treasury considers retaining the income tax rates pay as you earn at 25% until the 1st of January 2021. That to continue cushioning our micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, the National Treasury considers maintaining the reduction of the current turnover tax from 3% to 1% for all micro, small and medium-sized enterprises.
However, these came at a cost. The Kenya Revenue Authority missed its tax collection target by 186.3 billion shillings between March and November. KRA collected 1.09 trillion shillings against a target of 1.28 trillion shillings in the 8 months to November. 3 weeks after confirmation of the first case in Kenya would see more and more cases confirmed, which pushed the government on 6th of April to ban entry or exit via road, sea or air in the counties of Nairobi, Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale.
There shall be cessation of all movement by road, rail or air in and out of A, the Nairobi metropolitan area, and B, the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa.
These nearly brought the tourism, aviation and transport industries to a stop. The restricted travel into and out of the 4 counties that lasted 3 months, coupled with a countrywide curfew, would see businesses reduce output. Hotels, tour farms and airlines were among the first to announce job cuts and salary reductions that would later become a norm for businesses in other sectors. Despite the chaos caused by coronavirus, the economy remained resilient, with officials projecting that the economy would grow 0.6% in 2020 on account of the negative impact of COVID-19.
This year we are looking at a growth of about 6% of GDP, but this will drastically drop to about 3 or even less.
Economic growth for 2020 is projected at 0.6% in 2020 and 6.4% in 2021.
2020 would be remembered as the year when external shocks from the coronavirus pushed the economy to levels last witnessed before 2002. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 News.